Well, it really started with a term called unified capabilities, which is really the convergence of our voice, video, and data systems. So you've heard of voice over IP, collaborative VTC, presence, the ability to know when people are online. It really started with an overarching UC approach. And then mobility was certainly an enabler to that. So it's not just about being at your desktop, it's about being, in our vernacular, being on the flight line, being in a hospital, having a first responder that can respond to an event on an Air Force base. And so it really started to push the envelope about not just delivering UC to the end desktop device, but also the cop car, the medic, the flight line person. We have a lot of requirements for first responders inside the Air Force, as you can well imagine. Logisticians doing repairs to aircraft at the end of the flight line. They certainly aren't lugging around laptops and those kind of things. Hospital, medics, the laptops serve their purpose, but if you can get down to a smaller form factor, it's much more conducive to treating patients. So it really goes into all of those kind of areas of how do we extend mobility to airmen across the Air Force. I think fundamentally it's a mindset shift. We've historically looked at security from a defense in depth, build walls around all of the endpoints, and with mobile devices and tablets, the endpoints grow to such a large degree. I think you really have to fundamentally relook at our security model. And so we talk a lot about secure sandboxes or secure containers where we can protect the critical information without having to worry about the entire device. Technology is moving so quickly. We have to get away from I'll call our worrisomeness about the end device and start worrying about the data itself. And so changing the policies and the architectures and how we secure end devices is fundamentally changing with that construct. And it's a challenge literally we're working every day inside the Air Force and with the DoD and NSA as well on the information security side. There's quite a few of them. The Army and Marines are doing a lot of experimental work with applications and app stores and in those areas. We have had recently, you can see this out on Federal News and some other news sources, a joint experiment, joint forces, so NRO, NGA, Coast Guard, Army, and looking through different use cases for mobility. It's not just about even the flight line user, it's about an airframe, it's about like I said, a cop at the end of at the airfield. So we've been going through a lot of joint experiments as well to kind of prove out. We just finished one down at Langley Air Force Base with several of the major cellular providers to look at noise and spectrum and all the things with flight line issues and air traffic control. So it's not just about providing 4G coverage, it's also about working through the operational challenges that we have as well. We certainly have a lot of work with the federal side on OSD, with DISA, with NSA on securing the end devices as well, and they've got a lot of great work and some pilots as well going on. We've been heavily involved with Air Force Space Command and 24th Air Force in the delivery of an Air Force-wide mobile approach. And so we are targeting within the next year to go pretty large scale across the Air Force in the tens of thousands of devices. Working through the security pieces, the mobile device management pieces, to ensure all that strategy is worked end to end. So we have a very distinct plan on our plate. We currently, inside of Air Combat Command as well as Air Force Space Command, we are moving forward with a couple pilots. I've got a device with me today that's been on the net for a couple months, going very well, and we're hoping to use those lessons learned, use those successes, and really roll out in the tens of thousands, literally by the end of the year.